But first, eating large amounts of chicken could lead to an early death. That's the finding from a recent study in Italy. So we are fact-checking this to figure out how much is healthy for you. Today, I'm joined by Dr. Nita Bajor. Thanks for being here today.
You're welcome.
I think a lot of us, we think of chicken as being healthy. I know it's part of the Mediterranean diet, and there's a lot of different types of chicken out there, the fried chicken, the white chicken, the dark meat. So I think it's really good to go over this study because people might see it on its surface and not quite understand the information. So what was in these findings?
So it's very relevant because over 90% of Americans eat chicken. So it's important to know. In this study, it was an observational study, a cohort where they retrospectively look backwards at a population and see, you know, what was their risk. And so when they looked at about 4,800 people over 19 years, and they found that about 1,028, I believe, died in the course of those 19 years. And they looked back and saw that about the consumption of poultry was linked to a higher mortality. So those were the studies that came out, and National Institute of Gastroenterology also published that in the journal Nutrient to look at, you know, what was the link, and they were more likely to die from gastric cancers too.
That's interesting. Yeah, we have some of the information right there up on the screen. So they ate 300 grams per week compared to those who ate 100 grams. 27% more likely to die from any cause. And then, as you were saying, more likely to die from gastrointestinal cancer as well. Now, put this into comparison. What is 300 grams?
So a medium-sized chicken breast is about 200 to 300 grams. So if you eat one of those or two of those a week, then that's considered, you know, high consumption.
Now that seems like very little. I mean, I might have one chicken breast at dinner, let alone a few times a week.
Right.
So what are some of the flaws in this study?
I think they did not look at how the chicken was cooked, whether it had skin or was skinless. They didn't see if it was fried or baked or grilled. And also they didn't, you know, they have not discussed the population data. So were these patients, did they have other comorbidities? They have other risk factors? What was their physical activity? You know, I'm board certified in lifestyle medicine, so it's not just a one-size-fits-all. It's not just the nutrients, but it's also the exercise, the stress. So I think there's more to it. I think we need to look at it in more detail.
And as you were saying, it's observational, which is very different from some other studies.
Right.
You're just observing, and there could be so many other factors.
Correct. It's not one
involved.
of those evidence-based, randomized, double-controlled, you know, trials that we usually employ.
So what scientific evidence do we have on eating healthy foods? Like chicken is usually good for you, right?
So we have enough evidence in lifestyle medicine to support that eating processed foods increases your risk for mortality and heart disease by about 13 to 15%. And eating healthy, plant-based, whole foods, vegetables, fruits, legumes, lentils, nuts, seeds, all of those have been proven to help reduce the risk of death and mortality and all pretty effectively.
So try to cook as much as you can, because then you know you're not buying as much.
And you know, chicken is a good source of high quality protein, but plants also have a lot of protein. Chicken does have some vitamins and minerals, but just consider the whole picture. Consider alternate sources as well.
Okay, but a little more than a chicken breast a week is okay. You know, maybe just some flaws in that.
Everyone loves chicken nuggets. I think we need to just think about it and pause and think, okay, if I'm eating chicken or meat, how can I add more vegetables in my diet, more fruits? I think it's
as long
all
as
of
it's not
that.
substituting other nutrients that you need. Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you.